Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Vlogmas Day 15. And I'm going to be honest, I'm cheating. It's actually Sunday, but I have kind of a big project today that I am going to be filming. So if you look behind me, you might see a sewing machine. Yesterday, there it is. Yesterday, I went to, sorry, the sun is really bright today, which is nice because we had no sun yesterday, but we have a ton today. I went to an antique mart that is local to my town, and they had a sign on this sewing machine, which, let me see if I can get a good picture of the desk. It's actually like a sewing machine desk, and it said $50. And this is solid wood. It needs some help. The wood's definitely not been taken care of recently, but it was really good. And I do have a sewing table, but it's just really like a folding table, and this has all the drawers and everything, and I was like pretty happy. So like $50, I thought, well, that's a great deal. And then I looked at the machine, which I have not dated yet, but I have a serial number, so I'm going to do that. And it is a vintage Singer. The most amazing thing about it is, can you see this rust here? Even the needle has rust, but it's still like such an amazing machine. I'm thinking because of this kind of detail that it's 50s, but it could be as old as 40s. I'm going to look it up. A lot of this is rusted out, which is strange. Like the tension bar has some rust on it. But regardless, I really originally thought I was just looking at the cabinet for it and thinking like this would be a great sewing desk. It's got the shelves and everything, or the drawers and everything in it. And I thought, well, if there's no sewing machine in it, there's fine. Well, lo and behold, they're like, oh no, there's a sewing machine in there. I'm like, can I see it? They pop it open and I'm like, oh, it's a vintage Singer. I'm like, oh my God, right? Okay, so $50. I'm like, bargain. So, oh, that's my washing machine. So I say, all right, I'll take it. And I said, what, do I get to keep everything in the drawer? And they're like, sure, absolutely. So let me show you the drawers real quick. So here's the top drawer. And now here's another drawer. And here's the third drawer. And these are layers. So as you might, the only thing I did take out of it was this sewing oil because I was afraid it might leak. But we're going to explore those drawers. Now, you would think this was enough. But while I'm there, I see this loveliness. And I'm like, oh, wow. So for that, they wanted $10. And I would have paid $10 just for that case because they don't make these anymore. Now they're like the caboodle thing, and they're cheap and they break all the time. Like this actually has, even though it's plastic, it's got this thing which is metal. I have one of these that belonged to my mother. And I mean, the one my mother has, she bought in the 70s and it's still going and I still have it. But again, I get all the stuff inside of this. So I'm going to put you guys on pause and we are going to take apart these drawers. I am going to break it up into two segments. I'm going to do this lovely bin and I'm going to do the first drawer, and then we'll do another segment that'll be the rest of it, because I'm afraid that these are going to be incredibly long if I do it all at once. So I think I'm just going to do it this way. So I'm going to pause you guys for a minute, and then I'm going to reverse the camera, and you'll just hear me talking, but you won't actually see me, okay? Hold on. All right, guys, we're back. So I am just going to basically take the very first tray out of this thing, and we are going to look at what I got in here. And it's already looking pretty promising. So I have a brassiere repair piece. I have a brassiere back extender. I have a bra back repair piece. What else do we have? All right, put those aside. We have some beautiful vintage thread on a vintage spool, wood spool. We have some plastic buttons, so I'm going to assume they're not real old, these plastic buttons, but they're cute. They're definitely sized for children's clothing and not adult clothing, but you never know. Who knows? I could sew for children. This, obviously from Land's End. I'm sure there's a button in here. I'm not even going to open it. It will probably be fairly new. Some very pretty roses, and they are ribbon roses. I don't know what I would use them for, but they're cute. Oh, a little thing of pins. I have so many pins, but that's all right. And there seems to be some buttons in there. Buttons. More buttons. More buttons. Again, this comes with your clothing. It's the little repair kit that comes with like kind of better clothing. Lots of these. Oh, and little dime, just empty dime bags. In case I want, oh, but here we go. Look at how cute this is. Look at how cute that little flower button is. More dime bags. Okay, now this is kind of interesting. It's a wood rotary cutter. So that's kind of cool. A shoelace. Oh, I'm sorry. 2 shoelaces, which actually, I never buy shoelaces anymore. That might be a good thing. And then, as you guys can see, it is just a montage of buttons. And we have a bow. And we have, oh, these are what you use to lock things. You can use them to lock things in place. And we have a hat pin and lots of buttons and a bobbin and some very early Velcro. Wow, vintage Velcro, guys. Look at this. Oh, look how yellow the paper is. Anyway, so that's the first layer. Oh, more vintage Velcro over here. And lots of buttons. And, gosh, I could just do lots of little roses and things. Oh, vintage button. Look at that. But that's a whole nother day, me and my buttons. Me and my little button fetish. And this is... These are apparently the screws needed for something that I'm sure has been lost in time. More buttons. Oh, oh my gosh! I wonder if this was her sewing machine. Does everybody? Can you guys see this? Do you remember these when your grandmom or whoever would put these in clothing she made for you? I really hope this was hers. That would make me so happy. I love that. All right, we have some vintage needles, and she obviously put some of her hat pins in there. We have one majestic button. We have several more majestic buttons. All these are vintage buttons. More vintage buttons, and another vintage button, and another vintage button. Me and my buttons. And then just some yellow cording, which is fine. It's yellow elastic cording. It'll work. And an old Bic pen. Wow. It still works. It's like a vintage magic marker. Oh my God, look at that, guys. Can you guys see that writing? Can you guys read that writing? That's crazy. Okay. Another button came with something. Oh my gosh, guys, look at this needle package. Yeah, I don't know why I'm such a geek for this kind of crap, but oh wait, it gets better. Look at this one. Wow. Okay. Can you guys, I mean, it's hard to even see that label. Look at that label. Wow. And then I don't know what this is, but it's some, oh, a belt buckle. Awesome. Oh, and a Christmas tree button. How apropos. Some vintage snaps, more vintage snaps, and some fairly recent Singer needles. Oh, and now we're getting to the bottom of this lovely bin. So let's look at this. We have ribbon. And then we have some more ribbon. And then we have some more ribbon. I should actually call this rickrack, which is what it is. And then a Maine Sportsman patch. It's a rip-off toilet paper joke patch. This might fetch some real money on the internet. Oh, cotton darning. Wow. Nice. I haven't seen this in forever. Oh, some shoulder pads. Oh, no, these weren't. These were dress shields. Look, these are vintage dress shields that she... Oh, they're universal size. They're pre-made. And she must have been thinking about putting these in a project. Oh, and another patch. This is the Severy Hunt Lodge. Oh, wait, guys. Another patch. The Volunteer Fire Department of, I don't know where. Okay. Ooh. A couple decorative tassels. These are obviously from curtains or something, but that's okay. They're cool. Elastic. Another shoelace. The other shoelace. Some more beautiful cotton thread. And this is heavier weight. I have a feeling this is embroidery thread. It's got that heavy thickness to it that you see with embroidery threads. And it's tangled up in something that is very obviously embroidery thread. This is more like a yarn. And then we have, okay, I'll probably throw these away because they're looking a little gross. A trial stitch piece, I guess. More sewing needles. Pretty recent though, based on the packaging. I don't know what this is, but it's something cool. We'll take a further look at that. Oh, how to use interfacing. Clinton, and there's literally one left, but cool ephemera. Don't know what this was from. It's a combination toolkit. Don't know what they meant by that. More vintage buttons. Look, guys, more buttons. A shoulder pad, always useful. Another shoulder pad. The buckle for making a self belt for a garment. More ribbon. Ooh,